and want to var this out and var my about page out, but that's the import web page function. I didn't really go through it to clean it up. Now let me just explain really fast why I do not like using import web page. On import web page, it grabs all of the code, it puts it in, it does a wonderful job. You don't have to mess around. You can see that the site looks very good, very similar to the original, right? Here's the imported page, here's the original. It is pretty much the same, okay? We can see that up here is a little jacked up. We'll have to fix that. We can see that my social sharing has disappeared, so we'll have to fix that. But aside from minor tweaks, you can easily change things up, and then you didn't have to do anything hard. So the whole purpose of that is so you can go to any website, import it, and have that website. You can have your site look like that particular website. The bad and downside to that is everything gets put into one line of code. You can tell because there's only a 1 over here, and it's all in a gigantic paragraph and total mess. It's a freaking mess. Because I'm in Dreamweaver, I can see right away that there's something missing. Right? Everything's blue. Everything's totally blue. I'm missing something somewhere. How am I supposed to find where it is? I have to break everything up and figure out where it is the issue and solve it, right? The other way is you could see. Let me show you the difference between the two pages. Pro runs. This is the original index page. You can see clearly there's multiple lines on the left, multiple lines of code. Everything is split up, nice and neat. And you can see there's black text, green, purple, red. I mean, everything is color coded in Dreamweaver. It's really simple to see an error. Look at this, it's a freaking mess. Look at this, I can easily find and fix anything that needs to be found and fixed. Okay, so that's the major reason why I can't stand using import web page. It's too difficult. Plus the fact that I still have to do work anyway by cleaning up stuff, because I don't want to var out my testimonials. I don't need these varred, right? I don't need certain things. I don't need this varred. I don't need this varred, right? I'm still going to have to do work cleaning this up, making it look nice. Maybe I didn't want to do the whole thing. Maybe I just wanted to var this paragraph, right? Who knows? Either way, I'm still going to go through the steps here so that you can see if you do happen to finish doing the import web page. I'm going to finish up here. Alright, so on our Excel sheet we have, let's save this real quick, save, and we're going to open up the CSV file that was created. We already checked the index, but you need to open up the vars.csv, and it creates this blank column, so you're going to delete that for now. And I want to note something here. As you can see on the vars.csv, this is the file that gets grabbed by MOWG Pro to create all of your unique pages. The only thing that I've noticed is that when it gets created, it only gives me 2 rows of content. If I look at my Excel sheet, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly go across. There might be more. Yeah, right here's another one. So 2 through 7, right? One even here is even further down. So something gets messed up in the transfer. I'm sure Dave's working on that. But in the meantime, the fix for me is I highlight. I'll just go down to row 13. I click on the far left, go down to 13. Right? You can make sure that nothing's past it, but just scrolling real quick across, nothing goes by. Okay, and hit Control C or right click and copy. Go to your var sheet. Click on row 2 and hit Control V and paste. And now that's good. It all matches the same. It's no big deal if you do it that way. Okay, you make sure you delete that first column and then you can paste it, no problem. Now you have to click on column A and right click and click Insert, and then double click, and the bracket above the comma on your keyboard, put that 3 times in capital menu and then capital root. That's that. Boom and boom. Okay. We're going to save our CSV. The save icon on the top left. Hit yes, and then you can X out. You're done with that, and you don't have to save that one. We'll make sure to save our Excel sheet. That's good to go. Now, opening up MOWG Pro, what we want to do is create a profile. And let's create the profile. So we're going to go browse, go to the desktop. That's where it is. Desktop, Colton, and grab the index page. That's the page with all the vars. We're going to browse, desktop, Colton, grab the var sheet, vars.csv. And you want to target root folder again, organization. Put all your runs in one place. It helps you find them later. And on MOWG Pro, I created demo runs folder, and I'll put it in Colton and press OK. And you can see right there that it creates the path automatically for you. Then every time you run this particular profile, it will put the archived pages inside of there for you, and you can always refer back to them if you need it. We need the domain name. Domain name, just quickly go to your site and copy by pressing Ctrl+C, highlight the URL, copy it, and paste it. And we've got that. And I'm going to put it in a folder called to test, lowercase. I'm going to make it 50. Now we have the FTP path. We need to just fill this in. So I've got most of it already with my URL that I had on my clipboard. It's neighborhoodplumbers.com, and I'm going directly into the to test because of my username and password. So stand by 1 second. My username, I created a specific username here that instead of, usually we put in this, we put in public underscore HTML slash to test or wherever it's going into, right? Well, I create a username that I don't have to do that. I can just quickly put it directly into to test. And then my password, just type in your password. And that's it. We save as. And we're going to put it in desktop in the Colton folder, but I want to organize a little bit more. I create a profile folder, and I will save this as the Colton project. Who knows? Save. You can name it whatever you want. But looking over this real quick, I do notice one thing is I'm putting this on a subdomain. You may put it directly on the site and into the to test folder, and this is exactly what you want to do if you're going to do it to the to test. The thing is, I have this on a subdomain and then in to test, so I actually have to put in Colton, because that's the folder for the subdomain / to test. That way it goes into the right spot. If I don't put it in Colton, it's going to go to the neighborhood plumbers part of the directory. Okay, this is FTP information. If you don't know FTP very well, I would look up YouTube, some training videos. I'm sure Dave has some FTP training videos. Okay, so we're gonna hit next. Alright, so I did this on purpose because some people run into this error. You see right away that if something's wrong with the index page or the var sheet, if they don't match, then it's going to give you an error. Either vars are not on one page and they're on the other. Or here I forgot to put domain menu and project inside of the index page. So that's easily fixed. Let's do that real quick. Going to Dreamweaver, I'll file open, and in the Colton folder I need the index.html. Again, this is a mess, but we'll figure this out real fast. After you open the index page, the first thing you're going to do is find your domain name, because we need the domain token in there, right? So highlight the domain name and Control-C or right click and copy, and then hit Control-F, Foxtrot, and it automatically pre-populates the find field. So we want to find that URL, and I want to replace it with a domain token, and that's bracket, open bracket, %, capital domain, %, close bracket. and I want to replace that. So I'm going to click up top real quick and find next. And there's the first instance of it, and I'm going to replace. And it looks good. Everything looks good. Find next, replace, replace. Okay, it's replacing correctly, so now I can just hit replace all. You see all this? Replaced every instance of colton.neighborhoodplumbers.com with %domain. What this does is it makes your page universal. The domain token grabs from MOWG Pro right here. So everywhere it says domain on my index page, it's actually going to put this URL. That's great. That's what I want. Next thing I have to do is add the menu, and I need to add project. So I usually just in the menu, for the menu, I put it in the description because it really doesn't matter. It just needs to be found on the website or on the index page. % capital MENU % close bracket, and this doesn't show up. It's just there. Okay, it's not a big deal. Put it there. You can put it at the beginning of your description, or you can put it at the end of your description. Either way is fine. And looks like I found part of the error so far. Ah, look at that. I noticed right away at the end of the description it was missing a quote. And if you notice, if I take the quote away, everything turns blue again. If I put it in, it looks like some of my coding got fixed. So that's really cool. We got the menu, %, perfect. We got our domain token. Now we need the project token. Project is to test. So because I put a project there, I should put a project here. I usually will grab in the design portion, I look for the keyword or whatever word, doesn't matter, and I highlight it so I can find it over here on the left. Right? I want to make that a link, and the domain/project tokens will actually make the link to itself. So if basically put in on the bottom, if you don't have Dreamweaver, I'll show you the code after I put it in here. % domain % bracket / bracket % project % close bracket, and then just click anywhere and you will see this coding happen. The a space href, right, equals quote domain / project, and the keyword or the anchor text is going to be plumbing, and then close the A, and that's that. Now I meet the requirements that MOWG Pro wants. I have a link that refreshes the page basically. I have my menu, I have my domain token everywhere, making all the URLs to domain, so it's universal. So I go back to MOWG Pro. I'm going to re-grab this index page and save my profile, hit next, and there we go. No errors. First thing you got to do is put menu, boom, and then just grab some vars, right? I'm just going to do this real quick. And after menu, the first line, you put the right-hand dash, and then emergency dash get job call / and then any hour, right? Any dash hour, leave the last one blank. So you basically create a URL structure here, right? Emergency jobs, whoops, get the job and call, right? I don't know. I'm just really quickly doing this, doesn't matter. Make sure you take the time. Make sure that you take the time to go through and create a well-worded URL structure that makes sense, okay? And do yourself a favor and don't put too many slashes, because each slash creates a new subfolder. But then also on our hosting accounts, if you're using HostMonster or Bluehost, each folder is an actual file. So go through that. You understand that you only have 250 or 500,000 file count. Okay, so if you did a job that was five folders deep, right? You had 5 slashes, something like that, right? 1, 2, 3. This is 3, and I ran this 20,000 pages. Okay, I got 20,000 pages, but according to Bluehost, I have 60,000 file count. I just cut myself down big time, so be careful with that, okay? /any error, and leave the last one blank because that's the ending URL. And I can cancel. I meant to hit save, so save it and process. ID column not selected. I didn't put the ID so I could show this box. Basically, if I use batch files, what I do is I'll add the ID in here, right? I'll put it anywhere I want. Kind of makes sense, but that way I don't get that pop-up error. And if I hit process, you won't see it this time. It'll just run through. 50 pages created. Boom. Now it's uploading. This is uploading. Let's go over to FTP. I already connected, and here's the root domain, and I'm going to the Colton folder, and there's /test, right? Boom. There's all the files that are getting created. Here's my MOWG sitemap. Looks wonderful. So let's go to the actual website, right? Let's check that out. Processing is complete. I'll just copy the URL from here and go check out the website. And there it is. I mean, look, here's the original, and this is the Vard one. Very, very, very similar, right? It looks wonderful. You know, there isn't very much that you need to do. I mean, if you didn't want to do anything at all, you can just let this be. Let it be. It looks great. You know, and you can click on, we created plumbing. Here's the refresh link, right? Domain/project. If you look on the, what is going on? There we go. If you look on the bottom left over here, you'll see Colton. There's the domain, colton.neighborhoodplumbers.com, and the project is the /test. If I click it, just refreshes the page basically, because that's the page that we're on. You know, if I want to go to the MOWG sitemap, that's up one level. It's not in the /test. There's the master, there's the sitemap, and I could just click on any page, and boom, there we go. Looks good. That's that. That literally is all you need to do, aside from tweaking some coding. If you want to tweak it, it's up to you. Not going to kill you because the site looks pretty good the way it is. It's all done. You can close your Excel sheet. You have all your files right there. Oh, one thing that I did forget to mention is, because you'll probably, if you don't do runs, you'll probably forget this. What I did upload without telling you, because I already did it, was my _all files. I used to name it /all files to bring it to the top, but I just use the underscore now. For those of you that have been following me for a while, that's the reason. It's the same thing. It brings it to the top of the directory for us to see. And inside the /all files are my CSS, my images, all that stuff, right? Because if you look at the index page, Control F _all files, it's the domain, right? And that's going to get pulled from here. That's the domain /all files. So FTP, the domain was Colton, neighborhoodplumbers.com. So at the root directory is neighborhood plumbers, and then here's Colton, and here's _all files. So basically just finish the path, okay? Wherever it says in your URL structure where this _all files or whatever folder it is that you're looking for is, just put it there and let the images link. If you ever get a broken image, if say this image doesn't show up, right, you can right click, open image in new tab, and look at the path, see where it's supposed to be at, right? Maybe this says it's a different place, so I need to go and put this image in the correct place so that it always finds it, okay? And that's it. That's the MOWG Pro run using the import web page. I know it took a little bit longer. I was talking a little bit to try to explain certain steps, I made sure to go through everything for you. The next thing that I'm going to do is emoji run from copy pasting the content myself. I'm not going to have to talk as much this time because you'll have this video as your reference and you'll be good to go. Alright, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.